Well, now, listeners, we've reached that moment we've all been waiting for. It's just after 8 o'clock, and we're going to go to the interview with Promise Marks.
When it comes to you and I love it really feels like the sunshine. Hey, what's good? This is Promise Marks, and you're listening to DJ Gloss and the Morning Breakfast Crew. I like the way that you're looking at me.
Hello.
Good morning, Promise. It's DJ Gloss.
DJ Gloss. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And how are you doing? Are you good?
I'm wonderful.
You're always wonderful. We know that, Promise. You do wonderful very, very well.
Wait, you know, I am sunshine.
It's so lovely to hear your voice.
What time is it for you guys?
It's 7 o'clock in the evening here in London, and 11 o'clock in the morning with you.
Okay.
Yeah. So
wonderful. Well, I got a nice little cool location, and I'm just getting ready to enjoy some time with you, and it's so much of a blessing.
Oh, wonderful, Promise. So where are you today, Promise? Tell us all about it.
I am in Altadena, California.
Yep.
And I'm sitting out here at the Sidewalk Cafe, just finished my coffee, and I'm enjoying this Wednesday afternoon.
How do you take your coffee? What's your thing?
In my coffee, it has to have some cream and sugar in it.
Good. There you go. Very nice too. There you go. So you're not one of these latte or cappuccino kind of people then?
You know, I do. I like cappuccino. I like vanilla lattes.
Lovely.
I do. I am the coffee connoisseur in the house.
Yeah, I like a good coffee or six, that's for sure. Helps to keep us awake on busy recording sessions.
Say again?
I says it helps to keep us awake when we're on busy recording sessions.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so I understand that you're working on a new album, Promise. Well, tell us all about it.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. Yes, I have begun production on the second album.
Lovely.
And it's really exciting. My goal is to lyrically tell some really rich stories, musically to have a little bit more soul and funk on that music, and just elevate to get better and bring better product. And it's just exciting. I'm challenging myself as a writer as well as a singer, and I'm looking so forward to it. I think we'll be able to launch this sometime next year in the spring.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great project.
Really looking forward to it. So you're going to bring in some more sort of elements of funk and that kind of thing you were saying? Tell us more about that.
Well, you know, I come from that funk background, and I'm a James Brown baby. You know, I love me some James Brown and those elements that he had in that music that just made you move. And then on top of that soulfulness that just makes you groove, you know. Yeah. And I finally figured out that actually the title of the album, I'll give you a sneak peek. It's called In Due Season. And I'm looking really forward to it. So I started working on the title track just a couple of days ago, actually, lyrically. And so my crew is very excited. My producer's itching to get back in here and start making some wonderful, wonderful music. So we're looking forward to this.
That's lovely. Can I ask you the title of the album again? Promise, I didn't quite catch it.
In Due Season.
In Due Season. That sounds lovely. Sounds absolutely great. There you go. So we're expecting that next year sometime, and that's fantastic. Oh, brilliant. That's wonderful. So I also wanted to ask you about the movement, and perhaps you can elaborate a little bit more on that, because lots of us see you in Facebook and we interact and so on, but maybe you'd like to explain a little more about that to all of our listeners.
Oh, yeah. The movement is just a major blessing. You know, when I first put out some singles with the album Sunshine, I realized that in order for me to really get it out there, I needed to set a place where people can network and see it And I realized that as an independent artist, we all need that as artists, that exposure, and to be able to social network our work. And so a year ago, I put together the group, The Movement, so that I could have artists network, radio be able to know that we're here, and bridge these wonderful people together so that we can have a great exchange. And I'm just so excited about how it's grown and it's growing. And then I wanted to take it a step further and say, well, let's put together a Reverb Nation page and add all these wonderful artists. So we have a playlist that you guys could listen to and check out and experience. And it's just been a great thing because it's bridged us together. I've met more people. I actually did a show with one of the artists in the movement, Miss Gina Carey. She performed at my release party.
Wow.
And that was a great exchange. And so to bridge us together and maybe incorporate us doing shows together in the near future. So I really wanted to build a network of people to grow and expand. And I'm really excited that it's taking off, and it's been beautiful.
Well, it does seem to be working. I mean, it was the movement that alerted us to your Reverb album there, Make It Hot, which we regularly rotate tracks from there. We have tracks from the movement every single day, at least one, usually two, on every single breakfast show, because we love your stuff and we want to bring it to London. We want to bring it to London and the world. So, from that sense, as far as Sound Fusion Radio is concerned, it's seriously working. I mean, how do you feel about that with your movement tracks being played here in London on a daily basis?
I mean, it makes me smile like a kid in the candy store, and I think what really makes me smile is having the opportunity to open doors for other people, because to me, that's what it's all about. I always believe that our blessings should be above and beyond ourselves, and for me to have had the opportunity to network with so many wonderful people in radio and then be able to expose other people, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You can't hold it to yourself. You got to give it. That's why it was given. And so I'm just really honored by that.
Well, it's absolutely lovely that you see it that way, and I know you work extremely hard. We put an artist your way who is also from the USA, Wendell. He's now part of the movement too, so we're very happy for him as well to be part of that. So that's great. How many artists do you think you have now in the movement?
I think it's probably at least 50.
Wow.
Because it keeps growing, and the thing that I like about it too is that, there's some artists right now who aren't really doing anything, and it's tough, independent, you do what you can when you can. And I always like to message that we're here. You haven't been forgotten. When you get some stuff together, please send it. We want to share it. We want to let people know you're here. And it's good, because sometimes you feel lonely, like, nobody cares or nobody's listening. And I want people to know that your art matters. The time you put into it matters. Let's get it out there. And so it's growing. It's a matter of fact, we had a really good push just a couple of days ago. About 13 people joined in. So I'm really looking forward to going through all their music and listening and getting ready to put another compilation together with some of the new folks that have joined in, and just have a wonderful, wonderful exchange.
It sounds great. So the unique sound that is Promise Marks, I mean, tell us a little bit about how you record that, how you achieve that. Well, what's the process? Is there any plan to that, or does it just happen? What's the thing?
I think as far as my sound, I'm still evolving it. I'm still honing it. And I think what I really like, particularly with this next project, I really want it more soulful and a little more edgy. I think that musically, as an artist, we reflect where we are in our lives and what matters and what's relevant. And this season that I've gone through, this year has been a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows. And the best way to heal from all the pain is through music, and bring a new perspective and some healing waters to the audience. So it's still an evolution for me.
That sounds great. And do you always record with a full band, or is that not necessary? What happens there?
I'm actually planning to work with a couple new producers this go around, and I'm looking forward to that too. Kind of some younger folks to get some of that, a combination new school, old school, and mix it all in.
Sounds great.
But I have pretty much my same crew, but we're going to be adding more folks into the mix this time.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. So, is there a particular theme to the new album, or is it a collection of multiple themed songs?
I think this album, from what I kind of feel, I want to really tap into the things that people are feeling and experiencing. I think one of the most beautiful things with Sunshine is that people would tell me certain songs they could identify with. A certain song would touch them, or they felt a certain way and they put on the record and it made them feel better. And I think I want to really continue to hone in on that direction, to always create music that makes a difference in people's lives. So that's definitely a Promise brand signature, that the music is always going to touch you and make you feel better. Healing waters is what I like to call it.
Ah, well, that sounds really nice. Actually, I like the idea of healing water. That sounds fantastic. There you go. So, what else have you got in the pipeline? I mean, as if that's not enough, but I mean, what other things are going on with Promise Marks right now?
Well, this summer has been a real blessing. I've been getting a lot of bookings, a lot of live shows, which was definitely the goal. I've got some wonderful things coming up next month here in the LA area. And we're trying to get a little bit of traveling going. I'm trying to do some things, throughout the Southern California as well as Northern California area.
Yeah.
And we still are trying to line up those ducks in a row so we can get on that plane and head on over to your place.
Well, that sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to you coming over. That'll be great. Make sure you tell us all about it. Yeah,
we're going to crash this spot, Glossy. We're crashing DJ Gloss.
You can come around and stay. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. You come around and stay with me anytime you like. No problem. I don't know how many of you there'll be, but we'll fit you in somewhere. Don't worry. That'd be lovely.
Absolutely.
That'd be lovely. Absolutely great. Yeah, wonderful. So, looking forward to the new album and so on, but what do you see happening beyond that, Promise? I mean, I know that takes us into next year, but where do you think, the evolving Promise Marks is headed, say, in a few years to come?
I think that it's going to just be continuous progression. And what I've learned is being an artist is that you want to always keep growing.
Yes.
Growing, keep building, keep getting better, and really stay focused in the music. Sometimes I think you can get lost in other things, and to me, that's why I wanted to do this. It's just always the love of the music.
Yeah.
And just staying focused.
Yeah, I mean, that's our station motto too. It's the love. It's all about the love of the music. That's what we're here for, and that's why we love supporting independent artists like yourself. And the wonderful thing I think, Promise, about our association and friendship, if you like, is it all started from one Soul Weekender in Blackpool here, where they played one of your tunes, and I didn't know it. And as a DJ, the fact I didn't know who the tune was by, or what the name of the tune was, I could guess it was Sunshine, but and I went to see the DJ and I said, "Who is this? Because this is brilliant, And Anna was there as well. She said, "Go find out who that is," and it was you, and it all grew from there. And we got your album, absolutely loved it, and then made contact with you, and that was when we first interviewed you. So it's amazing how the associations grow, and I'm sure the movement works in exactly the same way.
It did, and that's what was so amazing, because when we first did this, my crew thought I was nuts, because I said, we're going to put it on Facebook and see what happens. They said, what do you mean you're going to put it on Facebook? I said, just watch. And then a year later, my crew, now they trust me. They trust the method to the madness, And I think, too, from a business side in this industry, you have to think out of the box.
Yep.
And you have to be willing to, be a little bit different and try things. And, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but not be afraid, because the one thing you might have thought wouldn't have worked is the main thing that clicked and it happened. So I really like that about being open to new ideas and trying something different. Like, social media has really opened the door for all of us as independent artists, because we now have a place to be heard. And hopefully it will grow and continue to elevate to a bigger platform. But you got to at least have a starting point. And so I utilize that social media to be the launch pad, if you would, to get this thing out there.
Well, we love supporting the movement, and Sound Fusion Radio will always be behind independent artists, and we will always be behind the movement. And you know, we love your music. That's why we rotate. We have at least one on every breakfast show, usually two, and absolutely love it. We're just waiting for you to put more in your reverb site, so we can, you know, we can bring more to the world of your music, you know, your group's music, but your music as well. Absolutely loving the remix on Dance Floor that you sent me. Wow, that's lovely. Tell us about that one.
Which one?
The remix on Dance Floor.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that fun?
That's great fun.
Oh, you're going to love this. You're going to love this, DJ Gloss. My cousin remixed it, and he's a DJ.
Yeah.
And years ago, he used to do a lot of parties, and we'd get together and we'd do music and whatnot. And I said, I need a remix for this song. And so I called him and I said, hey, Nico, can you remix this? He was so excited because he doesn't really DJ that much anymore, but he just loved the music and loved what we were doing. And it was so awesome to have him a part of that exchange of taking everybody on the dance floor and giving a great remix. So that was really cool. That was a very cool experience, and that was my cousin.
Wow.
So you see our musical family, right? You know.
There you go. Promise, can you tell me what your favourite 3 own works are? What are your favourite 3 tunes of your own?
My favorite 3 tunes would definitely be "Chill With You," "Not What You Think," and "City of Angels." And those are my favorites because of how they came together. But "Not What You Think" is a very special song for me personally, because that was the night in the studio that I actually found my voice. And that was the first time I didn't hear Shaka Khan in my head. And, you know, I love me some Shaka Khan and Whitney and all the greats, you know. And as a singer, we hear these other wonderful, amazing artists because we're trying to be as good, but we don't always find our own voice because we're locked into everyone else. And that particular song, for the first time, I actually unlocked me.
Wonderful.
That means recording the rest of the album, really coming from a different place. So it's a very special song to me, "Not What You Think." I love to sing it, love to perform it. Actually, that's going to be one of the next songs I'll be adding into my live show, because it's just a great song.
Sounds wonderful to me, Promise. That sounds absolutely great. That's really good. And what about one song that's not by you, but your favourite other artist song? What's that one going to be?
Which one is not what?
Well, one that's not done by you, but your favourite song by another artist.
Oh, by other artists? Oh, my goodness.
Just one, if you can.
If I got to pick just one, oh, Lord, that's a hard question.
Well, I'll tell you what, give us 3 then.
Thanks. I know what one of my absolute favorite songs has been lately is a song by Lettucey, "All Right," which is it's not one of her newer songs, but I love the lyrics, I love her delivery, I love her voice and her presence. I really like her. Lettucey, of course, I am forever a Jill Scott fan. Forget about it. Hands down, Jill is just the ultimate for me, because she really sticks the genre. Neo soul, Jill Scott, that sentence.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
You know, I mean, that she is that's it, and all. And then who else do I love? Oh, now Maxwell's on the dream wish list to tour with.
Yes. I'm aware of that.
So,
I'm aware of that.
When you talk to Maxwell, there's no promise to go on the road with you, right?
Yeah, because I know you love something, because I played that for you before. What about When the Cops Come Knocking?
Yeah, you know that's my favorite. That's got a groove that just don't quit.
Yeah. It's a great tune. Loving it to bits. Loving it to bits. That's really great. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners right now, Promise, at all, here in London town and across the world as well, because we are an internet station?
Yes, well, I would love to hear from them. Please message me, send me a Facebook request. I'd love to reach out. You're there, and thank you for your support. And I'd love to hear from folks. That's a beautiful thing to have people let you know that they've enjoyed what you've done, and so that they can get more of it, and just to hear how everybody's doing. Just that network.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, we love Sound Fusion Radio. Absolutely love everything you do, Promise. And we you're very, very special in our heart because, as far as the work on the Breakfast Show was concerned, you were our very, very first featured artist when I took the Breakfast Show over in January. So, that is another first that you and I have in common, in as much as you were my first featured artist on a brand new breakfast show. So I was dead tough with that.
So honored and very grateful for all the love you guys give, and when I get a chance to listen to your shows, I'm always dancing because you keep me up dancing. So I love dancing. So my husband always giggles because he's like, "Oh Lord, she's going to be dancing. She can't sit still and listen to your show." So it's a beautiful thing. And we just love you out here, and I'm so grateful for all of the support. It means the world.
Oh, that's great, because we have the breakfast show on Eastern Standard Time as well now, so that so that American people can listen at a more reasonable time than before. It's reasonable to get up, if you know what I mean. So we actually have two breakfast shows, one for the UK and one for the USA. So that's how much we want to appeal to you guys.
See, I love the breakfast show. Your breakfast show is hot. So I will be tuning in. I love your breakfast show. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's wonderful. Could I ask you one more favour?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Would you be able to do a new drop for me?
Yes.
That would be lovely.
Would drop for you, and it's funny that you mentioned that because we were just discussing that a couple of days ago, my producer and I, that we've got a few drops that we need to do and update, and you are on the top of the list. So yes, it's funny you asked. We already had you in the mix.
Oh, thank you. Promise.
Yeah, we got some really cool drops we're going to be putting together.
Okay. Perfect. That is absolutely awesome, Promise. And you're absolutely awesome. And we love you to bits here in London. And, your album Sunshine, I know many, many, many of our listeners have bought it. I know that they all love it. And I get so many requests for, Come Go With Me is one example. Just a wonderful album. Thank you, Promise, for your love of music and bringing it to us here in London.
Oh, thank you, DJ Gloss, and thank you to Soul Fusion Radio for having me and my music. We so love and appreciate you.
That's wonderful. Well, you have a wonderful day. Enjoy California and enjoy your coffee. And we will be featuring you next week. And I can't wait because that means I can play.
Thank you so much.
We can play loads of your tunes. I can play at least 2 tunes a day, if not 3 or more. And, really, really looking forward to it. So if there's anything you'd like to send me that I don't yet have that you would like included in next week's shows, then please send it to me and I'll make sure it gets put into the mix.
You got it.
Okay, Promise. You have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure talking to you, as it always is. And stay in touch with Sound Fusion Radio because we love you.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day, too.
Take care now. Thanks, Promise.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye. There you go, Sound Fusion Radio listeners. the absolutely wonderful Promise Marks. She's always so much fun and so bubbly, sitting outside a cafe on her cell phone talking with me there, and talking like a couple of friends, and it is beautiful. It really is, to relate in that way with an artist, and we've always had a close association with Promise ever since we took the Breakfast Show crew back in January, as we said there in the interview. And during that, she said that her favourite tunes were Chill With You and Not What You Think, and also City of Angels. Well, Chill With You I played at 7 o'clock at the very, very top of the show, just for Promise Marks. I played Not What You Think at 7:45, and at 8:45 I'm going to play City of Angels. So that way Promise gets all of her favourite own works. She also loved Maxwell Something Something, and I played that one at 7:35 this morning. And the other tune that she mentioned there was Legacy and All Right. So going out especially for Promise Marks, especially for our very special featured artist. Here's Legacy and All Right.
When it comes to you and I love it really feels like the sunshine. Hey, what's good? This is Promise Marks, and you're listening to DJ Gloss and the Morning Breakfast Crew. I like the way that you're looking at me.